connected.
Hey guys, I'm just out today doing a little morel mushroom hunting. Found about probably 50 or 55 I think this year so far, so it's not been too bad. I've heard of people finding like 400 of them. I've not found that many in a long time, but I don't hunt that hard. You know, we find enough for me and Miss Sherry, and that's usually good enough. So I'm gonna look around here. I'm gonna down under some sycamore trees down by the creek. So we'll see what we can find. Turn the camera around here. It's getting to where now the grass is growing up and the weeds is growing up into the out in here, and it makes it a lot harder to see the mushrooms because they're hidden behind the grass and the weeds. So it may be hard finding them today, but I got a chance and I hear people's finding lots of them, so I gotta go out and take a look. I'm on the four-wheeler, had it parked up there. Oh, there's one right there. First one. And actually not a bad one. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good one. Morel. Look at that. Find a mess of them, and that'll be a pretty good meal for supper tonight. Sometimes they like to grow right down on the edge of this creek bank. Right down on the edge. Well, I found several earlier this year, but doesn't mean there's going to be any right now. I did put on the muck boots, so I don't have to worry about wading in the water to get from one spot to another. As long as I don't go in too deep. It's pretty deep right over there. They're usually hanging out around this edge, but I actually don't see any, so we'll walk on down a little bit. Yeah, actually on the other side of the creek now. I've never had much luck finding any over here. I found one or two before, but I always like to check. Well, a good thing because there's one right there. Now that's a different one there. You can see that's a different color morel right there. It's not a bad size. See it? And I'll show you. I just got a white sack now. Usually I have a sack with holes in it when my wife's with me, but she's at work. So this is what I call like a more of a white morel. This is like a yellow. Some people call these grays. This is not really a black morel. The black morels I do find, but that's up in the woods, not down here by the creek. So you can see the difference between the two. Both the same, both taste just as good. So there's two. Hope I find 200. We'll keep looking here. Under these, you see these trees here, there's some sycamore limb right there. These are some small sycamores right here. Right here, you can always tell the sycamore because usually when they get older they're white. The bark, when it peels off and it's white underneath it, but you can tell a sycamore like that. So there's another small sycamore right there. But even though they're small sycamores, the mushrooms are starting to grow under them. They'll get bigger someday and be a good patch here maybe. Okay, I've searched this area pretty good. I think I'll get back on the four-wheeler and go on down to another spot. See what I can find down there, because I only found the two here. stuck on a tree. I've been over this thing a dozen times and I can go over it. Just need a little more run at it. Get off here and try in a different spot. See what I can find. Might not be a very good day. You just never know. But I know one thing, if you don't go, you're not going to find none. I'm going to have to cross the creek and up that bank. That's how I'm going to have to do this. Well, I made it across the creek. Go down through this little low spot here. Sometimes I find some down through here, but they're growing up this stupid weeds in the way. Oh, there's one right there, actually. Oh, there's two. But these have been out here for a few days. I should have come and looked earlier, but it's still good. Still actually moist. Of course, we got quite a bit of rain last couple of days. There's the other one right there. So I'll take it. Sometimes I find them up on the little bank hanging. They're just kind of up under the roots and stuff, like right up there. I don't see none now, but they'll be kind of hanging around underneath the roots of those trees in a good little shaded spot. Well, that makes 4 so far. Put them in my sack. Good Walmart sack. I rinse these off real good. Maybe it don't work, but I rinse these off real good in water without salt. Clean them out real good, and then I just take the water and spread it back out here. Bring it down here and dump it out. Maybe to put the spores back. Oh, there, I see one up under the weeds there. Glad I didn't take off just yet. You can see that one there, hiding under the weeds. Look at that. That's actually a nice one. That's a nice size one right there. Probably the biggest one yet. That's what I was saying about how they grow up under some of these dead logs and roots up under the underside of them, up under there. They'll be hanging out from under them. But not always. Sometimes I find them that way. That old hemlock is growing everywhere this year. I've never seen so much of it. But it's a mess. It'll get pretty big before it's done. Whoop, there's another one right there. Don't step on it, ain't careful. It's not as big a one, but hey, it's edible. Plenty edible. Now this one's probably more white than any of them. There'll be different shades depending on probably where they're growing at. Different shades of white. People call them white mushrooms, but if Sherry is with me, we'd find more. Because she's a better mushroom hunter than I am. I think probably because she can see better than me. So see, I gotta look under this hemlock and see if I see any, because boy, they hide under that stuff. And you can't see them. There's one right there. Another, probably what I call a medium-sized one, not bad. Good eating size. What I like is, and I may find some today hopefully, is when I find some of them in a cluster. There might be 6 or 8 of them all coming out one spot, just a big cluster of them. If you find lots of them, you really add up fast. I see that one right there, and this one here, here's another one. I had already walked past this spot and did not see them. But what you do a lot of times is you can see them from one angle, and you find some, you turn around and come back at a different angle because the leaves are laying different ways, and then you might see something from a different angle. Just like I did them. Probably wouldn't have found them if I wouldn't have turned around and come back. Oh, there's actually one laying there that's broke off. Maybe from where I may have stepped on that earlier. From the looks of it, I may have kicked it and knocked it off there because it's broke off. One right there. Well, I'm finding several so far. Ain't that a beautiful picture? Come back over here by the creek side. Let's take this jacket off. It's starting to warm up pretty good. There's one right there. Right over there. Oh, there's a little bitty one right there. Got a little one right there. There's the other one I seen right over there. You can probably hear the creek running. Morel hunting in southwest Missouri. I always just can't wait for this time of year. I ain't got a mess of perch, but I usually like to have a mess of perch when I eat my first morels. But I didn't have any, so if I get down low I can see them better. You see up under this buckbrush and all these multiflora roses. Well, there's one right there. Another small one, but that's a good morsel right there. Most of the time I don't leave them unless they're just ridiculously tiny, but gotta leave some for spores. But I don't think you have to worry about leaving any for spores. You're not gonna find them all. It'd be hard to find everyone that's out here. You know you're gonna miss some, so there's gonna be spores. There it is out in here. It's hard to see, especially when everything's greening up like this. Makes them really. So I'll go a little bit, squat down, look a certain area, about a 6-foot circle around me, and I'll move on up a little bit and look some more. But it's hard to see through all this. You see this buckbrush right here. This is buckbrush, and then we have all these multiflora rose bushes like right here. That's a multiflora rose. They grow wild here, and they're just all over the place. That's why you want to wear pants out here, not people wearing shorts out in the woods. You get all scratched up by them things. Gotta be more over here. Certainly not just them couple. You never know. Oh, that one's looking kind of rough. Like the top of it got sunburned, maybe. Still edible, even if they're dried out. I put them in the water and soak them up and fry them anyway. Tastes good to me. I just wonder how many I'm missing that my wife would find if she was here. She gets off at 6 p.m. and it'll still be daylight, so we may actually come back if she's not too tired and let her find everything that I missed. She'd probably come out with more than I did. Good eyes make a difference, that's for sure. Oh, there's got to be more out here. I've got more spots to go to if I don't find no more here. I actually got one spot that's better, usually. Well, while I'm looking here, you guys, click the subscribe button. Whoop, there's a mushroom right there. Click the subscribe button and the thumbs up. It's not just there for nothing, it helps me out, so please do that. Right there. That's a pretty one too. Now look at that. Look at that picture. Isn't that awesome? But now I've totally lost count on how many I got. Not tons of them yet, but I've still lost count. May have to cook some pork chops on the grill and have some fried mushrooms and some asparagus. My wife does an awesome job with asparagus. And I got some asparagus in the garden. Comes up there every year and I don't have to do nothing to it. Just pick it. It's actually been about 3 days, so I probably got more. I keep shutting the camera off because I want to save my battery. I don't want to run all the battery out just looking, so it's actually more time out here probably than what you're seeing, but not a lot. If I get back down here on the bank, looking around the edge, because sometimes I find several on the edge. I haven't checked on that side. Pretty washed out. There's a bunch of minnows in there in the creek. You probably can't see them on the video, but there's a bunch of minnows in there. Oh, there's the one I just passed by. A nice one. That's actually a really nice one right there. Look at that, right under some flowers. How awesome is that? Now that's the kind you want to fill your sack quick, a lot of those. There's a little garter snake right there. Just a little one. He's feisty. He don't like me. There's garter snakes out here everywhere. There's a lot of water snakes. I have seen a cottonmouth, but it's rare. And I've seen a few copperheads. They died for some reason. But we're not going to bother the garter snake. We'll let him go. You're probably looking for mushrooms. Okay, we did another spot. I definitely had to ditch that jacket. It feels nice now with the breeze blowing and out here in this field, sun's out. Actually feels pretty good. But sometimes I find them out in the field. There's no sycamore here that used to be here, and I find them out here around it. You just never know. And actually, I found most of the mushrooms this year, actually I think here. Not the biggest ones, but the most amount. Well, there's one right there. Good deal. So that's good news already. Oh, there's two. Look at that. See, I was talking about them growing in clusters. And that's not necessarily a cluster. I guess a cluster of two, but sometimes they grow in clusters of several, which is really a nice find. These are nice ones. Nice size. Right out in the middle of the field, around an old sycamore stump. A big old sycamore stump. So you gotta be careful in all this grass, because you can't hardly see them and you'd be stepping on them everywhere. Don't want to do that. Had to wash my hands off after that stupid garter snake. Man, that thing stinks. But that's the nice thing about having a creek right there. Boy, they're going to be so hard to find in this tall grass that it's crazy, you know. They're probably there, but it'd be so hard to find them and all that. I mean, it's just thick. But I wouldn't doubt what they ain't in that. Just extremely hard to find them in it. It's better when you get over here and the grass is not so thick. So out here you can see them better. Gotta be more than just those two out here, I would think. Well, I tell you, I don't know about you guys, but I miss my wife when she's not with me. Not just because she's a good mushroom hunter, just because I miss her company. We sure enjoy life together. Look here, two more. Another cluster of two. Didn't go very far to find them, but there's another one. Probably all over out here. An old blind woodsman. Ain't seeing them. Well, the wind's blowing. I hope it ain't messing up the mic too bad. I do got a dead cat on the front of this camera. Oh, there's one right there. Look at that. Now that's actually bent over because it tried to grow and the grass caught it and held it, made it kind of grow crooked. Still good, but that thing growed all bent over. It couldn't come up through the grass. There's another one. Another nice one. These are nice ones out here. About all of them are nice, good and solid, thick morels. I'll go to the spot in a little bit. I don't know if I'll get it on camera, if I'll wait and go with her, where I got some black ones, but we might film it some. Add it to this video. Well, okay guys, I'm gonna call her quits, and maybe I'll hunt some when my wife gets home. But I will put up there, right here on the video, I'll put up there how many we found total. I may do some more video and haven't decided yet, but anyway, if I don't, I'll put the total up here, and you can see how many that I found total. Found some off camera right here around this bluff on this side of the creek. So not very many, but I'll have to add them up because I lost count. So anyway, I'm gonna head to the house before she gets home, pick her up on the four-wheeler. Thank y'all for watching Woodzman Adventures and my Southwest Missouri mushroom hunting. And if you're not a subscriber of mine, please subscribe. And please click the thumbs up on the video. I thank y'all for watching, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Right on.